Hey.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, it's been a while.
It's great to see you.
How long did you get to take away from work day here?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Se llama María. High school.
I remember you being here before. You're still gonna work your.
I'm walking.
Yes. I thought Priscilla would show up, but I haven't seen her.
Get that up. How are you doing? Hey, I was looking for something to give my views about the calendar. Is it too late, Brian?
So what? And I sent my dad on the same mission. You know my dad? Have you met my dad?
Your hand. Can you tell everybody behind you that they need to be quiet now? Good. Show us that classroom control. Well, today is a wonderful day. And I think everyone can agree it's all for a wonderful person. And although her back is turned to us, we're going to talk about her anyway. First of all, I'd like to welcome the West Hills faculty and staff, both past and present. And I see, maybe right there on Steve Heyman's head, the future of West Hills, granddaughter Olivia. I also wanted to welcome Superintendent Bob Collins, Board Member Dick Hoyt, Assistant Superintendent and former West Hills Principal Mike Lewis, Deputy Superintendent Scott Patterson, former Principal Brian Wilbur, our original admin team, the Dream Team, Mr. Bob Guess and Dave Hunter, In a minute, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Guest, and then I think that Mr. Hoy would like to say a few words. I did want to mention a couple of things. For those of you who may have emailed Kathy Fisher, Susan is not dead. I think we've gotten that. I think there were those things out there. And then also, the one negative thing I have to say is I only got to work with Susan for 2 years, and they were great. Susan is a wonderful lady. My mother was a librarian, so I compare Susan to my mother, and she's right up there. A little taller, a little taller. But I'm going to turn it over to Bob Guest, our original principal, and we'll move on.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Yeah. We're lucky to be alive and be able to be here and honor someone that we all love. And I feel especially fortunate because I don't get to see Sue much anymore, just to be able to see her today, so I'm really happy about that. I know you all miss her here. I've missed her for 13 years, and so that's a long time. I think it would be appropriate, since we're talking about books and libraries, if I started off the... hello? That's my wife, I'll be there shortly. With a quote about books from an eminent scholar and reader of great literature, Mr. Groucho Marx, who once said that outside a dog, a book is a man's best friend, and inside a dog, it's too dark to read. So I thought I would leave you with that bit of wisdom. When I was staffing West Hills, I was able to, I've been around a little bit, education, I've been around the district a lot, so I was able to steal many fine teachers from other schools, and I stole Susan from Santana, where she was the librarian. I had to pay 2 first-round draft choices and a player to be named later. But she was the librarian there, and I was able to get her over, and it was one of the staffing coups of my tenure here. So when we began planning the school, I had unprecedented leeway in planning it, which Superintendent Collins, I'm sure, would be aghast if he knew. And one of the things that I did was I assigned the designing of the library to Sue and to Roger Hill, who was the project architect. And originally they asked me, what is your vision of the library? How do you see it? And I said, I see it kind of like the library in Breakfast Club. I don't know how many have seen the movie The Breakfast Club, but that library, they must have an oil well on that campus, I don't know. So I said Breakfast Club would be fine, and considering the number of dollars that she had, she came pretty close to it. So I was already on the campus in a temporary building. And I would go over there, and she and Roger would be sitting in the library with all these papers spread out and their heads together, and then they would say, can we do this? How about this? Make this work? And they just did a wonderful job, a marvelous job in planning this building. One of the things that the single, I guess, negative thing about the building is that originally Susan and Roger had these beautiful skylights in the building. And along the way, we were going to be about $2 million over. And one of the things that went were the skylights in the library, and we've always regretted that. And I know it's really been a stickler for Sue because she believes that with the hasty redesigning, she lost some of the acoustics in this building, but they couldn't be avoided in this beautiful library even without the skylights. But that's a little side note. Actually, this is probably the second or third West Hills Library. Originally, when we were on the old campus, we moved a temporary building in there, probably about 1,200 square feet, something like that. And Susan immediately jammed it with so many books that the second year, we had to haul another temporary trailer, as people in the neighborhood called it. And we had to cut a door between the two and make a passageway to make one library. And then she kept stacking books in there until finally we were able to move into this building. And I believe Sue thinks we had about 7,000 volumes when we moved into this building. Very soon she turned that into 20,000 volumes, which was competitive with the rest of the schools in the district. And of course ours had the advantage of being new and up to date collections, so she did a tremendous job. One of the innovative things that I've always looked back on with some pleasure, and she had great pleasure doing it, is that 2 times I gave her $5,000 and she was able to take members of the faculty who were interested down to Bookstar. And they were able to go down, up and down the aisles and buy any book that they wanted that would fit into their curriculum. And they had a great time doing that, I remember that. So probably 600 or 700 books in this library at least were picked by faculty members in those days. And I know that was a highlight, one of the highlights of the early years. The early years were somewhere was just the idea of having the leeway of planning the school, and for her to have the leeway that she did, the ability to sit down and get her wishes into planning, just made it a tremendous time. I could go on and on with stories about the fireplaces, and that's a whole other species. The superintendent and new people who are in administration would love that one. Fireplaces, and of course we went with those days in first class furniture. If you remember schools in those days, they mainly had those iron leg tables, maybe they were folding tables with terrible chairs, and we bought very expensive furniture, and of course we wanted to last, and we knew that it would. It was very expensive at the time. So I'm just appreciative of the principal, Mr. Keeley, for allowing me to come up and share this moment with you. I have great affection for this building and for the lady whose name it will bear for forever. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I don't know how to handle it when somebody is so positive about another individual. It's just extremely difficult. You see, I first met Sue in about 1971. As a student at Santana, she was my favorite teacher. And she inspired me to become a history teacher. Many of you don't know that Sue was a history teacher one time. And she inspired me to become a history teacher. Pretty soon I was her colleague. And then there came that day in the late 80s where she announced that Bob Guess had asked her to come to West Hills. I get emotional. I went to Sue and I said, Sue, why are you going to West Hills? And she looked at me and she said, you know, they're never going to name the library after me at Santana. They know me too well. I've got to go somewhere and make a fresh start. But I have kept in contact with Sue for the last 30 years, and she is most deserving of this honor. This library is the Sue Arthur Library, and this library is a community asset, as is Sue. And I just want you to know that this is a very special lady, even if she is a traitor.
We just had a pinch hitter come in. One of our original staff members who forgot that he's retired 4 years ago and still comes to work, Mr. Alto.
Unlike these guys, I've got to write my stuff down. So, And I felt like this was an important enough occasion that one of the original staff members ought to make a statement. So I hate to conflict with Bob or step on his toes or anything, but our school has thrived first as a vision of Bob Guest and the planning committee, of which Susan was a part of. Then as a reality, with a beautiful campus, with quality teachers and motivated students. Early on, the newness was attractive and brought students and faculty to be a part of something new. Now, 20 years later, our campus has matured. Most of the original staff is retired. And we have former students who are now veteran teachers. With maturity comes change, progress, tradition, richness, character, and legacies and legends. Larry King last night said, legends are just old. Change has discarded the card catalog. See that anymore. Books are now scanned at checkout. And you remember encyclopedias? We don't have them. And 20 years ago, could Susan have envisioned the rows and rows of computers that we now have? Susan's legacy is that of an intelligent, passionate professional who came of age in the 70s as a remarkable teacher and mother of 2 young boys, and later a designer and librarian of our school. Bob Guest wanted the library to be the brain of the school, but Susan made it the heart. Certainly, it was cutting edge for information, but Susan also made it a home for all of us. Susan's respect for our profession led her to fight for teacher rights, mentor young teachers, and provide us with objective advice on the best direction for our school. Lastly, her toughness allowed her to hang in there with the guys in battles of wit and humor. It is important that we acknowledge the legacy of Susan Arthur. It is one way we add richness, character, and tradition to our school. Our appreciation displayed today with the naming of the Susan Arthur Library will keep her legend alive, and over time will motivate future generations of teachers and students to greatness. As Hal Borland said, when the legends die, the dreams end. When the dreams end, there can be no more greatness. Thank you.
Before I turn over the library back to Susan, I just wanted to give everyone a bit of instruction here. When Susan is done speaking, I think it's 40 minutes. We will head outside and gather around, and hopefully the device that is there works, and Susan will put off and reveal the name, and we will all clap and hug Susan one at a time.
Oh my, this is more than overwhelming. I hardly know how to thank you all. I have my West Hills friends and my non-West Hills friends here, and people I haven't seen for many years actually. So this is an extraordinary event for me. And I just want to be perfectly clear that it was not my idea. Somehow she got this done while she was alive. But I'm going to tell you who the person was. It was Randy Cambu. He had the idea, one of my BITSA teachers, and he then took that idea to the administrators at the time, Brad and Robin and Pat and Brian Wilbur, and they immediately jumped all over it and called Dave Hunter, who's somewhere here. I don't see him, but I know he's here. There he is. And Dave gave them his sage advice on how to go about having this done. And so this petition was circulated, and many teachers and students and staff and parents signed it. And then that petition went to the school board, and the school board unanimously approved it with it was a shock to me that it was unanimous. 2 of them here I knew were my fans, but I didn't know about all of them.
They voted yes.
Yeah, I know you did. So that's how it all came to be. I cannot tell you what an exciting adventure experience it was to start up a new library. It's one time in your life that you get to do anything of that caliber. So it was a reward, really, in itself. A lot of work, and sometimes I was really, really scared of how it would turn out, but all in all, I could not have been happier. But of course, it's about a program. And I could not have done this job for this many years without 2 very special people. And one is Clara. I don't know where Clara is. Clara has been with me, my right-hand person, for almost 20 years. She keeps this place in order, and look at, it's got over 30,000 books. It's a huge, huge job. I could never have done all this without her. Before Clara, my first tech who helped me move, well, she did a lot of the packing. I think she did most of the packing, but together we unpacked all the books and brought them over here, and that's Betty Levi. So Betty Levi, and last but not least, Gary Wilhite, who's hiding. Without Gary, I don't think I could have ever survived the changes in technology over the last 30 years, over 30 years. It has been an incredible journey. And he has had the patience, yes, Gary can have patience. He has had the patience to work with me, to teach me, and I don't know how I would have done it without him. And even though he helps all of you all over the campus every day, he always made sure that the library was taken care of. And I am very, very grateful to Gary. We have probably 1,000 students a week, I would say, who would come through the library. So that's the other side of this. They love to come here because it's so popular and used so much. A lot of things break down. So among the other things that all of us have had to do is keep it up and keep it in good shape and keep it for them, for the students. I am going to try to, I will have to read it because I don't think I could remember it, but I thought I would try to summarize in one very long sentence the last 25 years, almost 25 years. So one sentence, run on, and a metaphor, a couple of metaphors. Okay, because of Bob Guess, I got to build a house. And with the collective wisdom and experience of all the librarians in the district, past and present, and of course Library Service Center, and with the collaborative discussions I've had with so many tremendously dedicated teachers over all these years, and the continuous input and recommendations from students, I believe we have a wonderful library program. And together, with Betty, with Clara, and with Gary, we made it a home. Thank you, people, for being here. I appreciate it so much.
Well, we got ready.
Oh.
Congratulations, Sue. Hey, Brian, how are you?
I'm good. I'm ready for the big festivities here.
Hey.
being down there, I wanted to make it have Southern Mississippi or come out and show.
Oh, it was just the atmosphere.
I've been thinking a lot about you.
I tell you, it's exciting.
Or Chuck? Lonnie went. I watched it.
What a crowd.
Have you inverted your power?
That's what I said. I think we should all get a
In fact, you need to have yourself your phone.
Didn't the board,
We got to win.
didn't the board take a field trip to New York to get the award? Couple trips. I mean,
This is nothing, right? This is a fun experience. There's more than one.
The whole thing, Gosh, I hope this works.
Well, if it doesn't work, it'll be funny. It's always fun, you know?
My concern was, did they not fix the things on right, and if she pulls it down, will all the letters come flying off? That would also be tragic. Look at that, you're ready to run 800 laps.
Hi Steve, how are you?
Pam, can you?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, ready?
Another newsletter is written. Isn't that easy? Oh, you guys are so That El Cajon Library just doesn't sound right, does it? She's the what? Has the circulation just been made yet? For the book
Randy, the man.
Hey, Randy, you got press there.
I know. Okay,
Now I'm recording. Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Wait,
Brian.
did you get thanked? I was filming you. Don't duck.
Dad was taking pictures of me
Here.
earlier. I was like,
Here.
oh my God.
Did you talk to Susan yet? Go talk to Susan on camera. Go talk to Susan on camera.
Help people vote that wanted to vote.
Okay, we're going to carry. Pete, we had a committee formed.
Don't say anything on tape.
And your job.
It's right here.
Do I have to talk to you, Brian? Oh,
I miss I do.
I have to run. Gotta go learn how to.
What, is that time? What time is it?
After 2. What is this, Florida? we just leave ballots anywhere.
Are they gone?
It's horrible.
Well.
It's like Florida.
We were wondering why they don't have she doesn't have a key for herself because it's her library, you know, like, and some kind of cool device where like you unlock it and the doors open and
like a remote.
Yeah, like all the doors swing wide
How
open.
do you not have a key for that?
It's ridiculous.
I know.
I would say I want my
How dare they?
All right. Whoop who?
You know what's weird about doing video is like there's really nothing. I don't want to. Yeah, let's get a camera. Like we're a photo.
There's a photo.
I'm not much of a talker. I'm not a big talker. Not a talker.
There you go. Yay.